Buenos Dias, Gunners Collective. Back at it? You already know. Orale, like a motherfucking smack addict. And as you can tell by that thumbnail right there, indubitably, we're about to get right into it. Armenian power. Yes, indeed. I've been asked by a lot of subscribers, by a lot of people, so what about us? What about Armenian power? Well, I'm going to tell you guys about Armenian power and what I know of them. I have done time with a couple of autos, I'd say about 3 or 4 from Armenian power at a distance. They were always very quiet, a little standoffish, kind of did their own thing. They didn't have no talk, no words for the gun, no words for the norteños, in fact, at all. Kind of just did their thing. And at first, I didn't know. I thought that was just a barrio like Armenian Street or something. I didn't know they were actually Eastern European of Armenian descent. As I did my proper investigation, I started to find out more about that barrio. So, bing, in a menudo style, in a direct fashion. Hey, if you don't know, now you know, right? So Armenian Power is a neighborhood in the Eastern Hollywood district of Los, right? And it was founded in the 1980s, more for existence, more out of oppression, more to be able to function. You got to understand that at that time in the 80s, there was a big influx of Eastern Europeans that formed a little neighborhood called Little Armenia, okay, in that area. And of course, you know, when you got a lot of youngsters and they see everything around them, they become products of their environments. And so, hey, I like it. Hey, they got a bald head and Ben Davis just, I'm going to rock that too. Okay, and being of Armenian descent, that was totally against what they believed in. That was totally against their get down. But Sabaske, when you come to America, you start to gravitate towards the pull of what's around you. Of course, Sureñism was deep in the LA area. So that's what these youngsters seen. So they started to formulate a plot and a plan to come together as a group, as a gang. What started out as a group, of course, like I say, every group, every gang is formed out of a necessity to exist, you know, to maintain one's self-security. So these guys formed a group, okay? It later on became a gang called Armenian Power. And at first, you know, they were just a group that were basically going at it with whoever wanted that funk. You know, like I said, growing up in Little Armenia, they had a different type of culture, different types of ways. But this culture was quickly blending into the Chicanoism, the Chicano culture that was all around them in the LA area. So Armenian Power started to gain attention. They started to be noticed by the Sureños and they started to have enemigas. So at first, they were flying under their own flag. You know, basically Armenian Power, they were about their business, they were about their shit. Vatos knew that these Middle Easterns Eastern Europeans were just a little bit different. So I was scared, they looked like Chicanos, but with just a little different twist. And people started to notice and recognize. So what had happened was they had a leader, okay, a leader who seen a vision. This Vato had a vision. He knew that for no other reason, living in the LA area, the only way to adapt, the only way to be comfortable, the only way to be able to handle your business without being fucked up is to go ahead and get at the Mexicanos, the Sureños, and of course the big canales down south who are maintaining and running the show, allegedly, right? So he started to formulate good relations, a good relationship with them. Eventually, they ended up going up under the M's umbrella, just like any other group. You know, they were fighting the feeling for a long time. They thought they could exist on their own. But if you're from down south, you know, more than likely, unless you have a lot of soldados behind you and you're just fucking too big to press up on, more than likely you're going to have to fold tent. You're going to have to go get with the big boys. You're going to go have to get under that umbrella. Okay, that doesn't mean that you're any less of, that doesn't mean that you're punks, and that doesn't mean that means you're smart. So I was scared, hey, go be part of the big team. So there's only one team down south, and boom, and the winners are, right? So Armenian Power got up under the M's umbrella. Okay, and that was based on one relationship with one Vato and a lot of different members that decided that if for no other reason this Vato was worthy of their cause, and the embracement was real, the canalismo was there, and says, que vámonos, bam, Armenian Power, you guys are now with us. So over time, Armenian Powers adopted the 13, and they started to claim Sul as well. Okay, a lot of people get that misconstrued and mixed up, and they don't really know the get down. But these Vatos are actually Southsiders. They do claim Sureño. They do fly the 13, Armenian Power 13. Okay, they got several clicas. The original clica, and they also claim West Side Armenian Power. Yes, indeed. I wrote graffiti on the bus. So throughout the 80s and 90s, they started to become known. They started to garner attention. They started to be a big vario, and a vario that was not to be played with. You see, anyone that's from a different place and has a different culture does different shit. Just like you have MS, you know, Sasuke, they're good with that machete. Oh, yes, indeed. The wind is blowing, and they're very good with that machete, right? These Eastern Europeans were a little bit wicked, bro. A little bit out there, meaning they went the extra mile, the extra distance, and they had a different culture. Sasuke, they'll eat you up. After they were not playing. So the 80s and 90s, they were handling their business. They were running rampant. And it basically turned from a group of self-protection in existence into an actual gang that was out there thriving on their own people, you know, allegedly. And that happens. You know, you start preying on the people, the same people that you were meant to protect, you start to prey on. You know, so these Vatos, of course, were taxing people, getting their feria, making shit happen, and that's just the way they rolled. Now, at the same time, I don't disrespect Armenian Power. I got respect for the gang. I got respect for the gente. But, you know, it seems like it's just a vicious cycle, something that happens in every gang. Even my own neighborhood, we started out as a couple ragtag friends, man, 5 or 6 at Tenaya Junior High, just trying to kick it and have a good time. And eventually, man, over time, it blossomed into murder, attempted murders, robberies, and so on and so forth, extortion, and oh my, you know what I mean? Allegedly. Bang, bang. It's just like that with everyone, man. There's always going to be a few individuals that are fucking lazy and want that bolsita and are lazy to go out there and work at McDonald's. So it's okay, they'd rather rob that motherfucker one time for their mind. And that's what happened here with Armenian Power, man. They started to gain so much attention and started to become so deep in their neighborhood, they wanted to spread. Now, of course, Armenian Power has spread throughout different cities and different states. You know, I've met Vatos in different states that Sasuke know about Armenian Power. Shit, they knew more than I did. Sasuke, what's up with that water Armenian Power? When are you going to do something on it? Sasuke, what? You know what I mean? Oh, that's right. I met a couple Vatos in Corco that have Armenian Power right here. Sasuke, I thought they were just from fucking Iran or something. I didn't even know, right? But now I do. Okay, after doing my due diligence and my research. But what I will say that is in 2008, they also started to garner and gain the attention of the federal government, the feds, right? And the feds started to really watch this group. More so, they were known in LA for extortion and things of that nature, kidnappings. You know, whereas you have the gangs, for the most part, man, we were out there stealing cars, spray painting, knocking your bitch, doing shit of that nature. These Vatos were more into kidnappings and extortions, allegedly. This is what the feds thought of them. You know, that they were kidnapping businessmen, snatching them up off the streets. You know, the Vatos were doing these petty crimes. Sasuke, fuck a Honda Accord. I need a Tesla. You know, and in that fashion, fuck your Datsun B210 broke as a motherfucking joke. Sasuke, I need a Lambo. And in that fashion, these Vatos were going for the gusto. They were going to the top. And that's just how Armenian Power played it. You got to understand, Eastern European are also white men. Don't get that twisted. I'll say it again. They're from Caucasian descent. They are white men, right? Claiming a predominantly Mexicano gang. Okay? An Armenian Power gang, and for the most part, most Vatos are, you know, at the end of the day, of Armenian descent. But they fly up under the 13, they fly up under the M umbrella. You know, so that's a cold twist. You know, that's something different. A gang of actually different descent that flies under a Mexicano flag. Okay? For self-protection, for business purposes, and they're about that action. Motherfuckers know in LA, man, Armenian Power's with that business. Straight up. You ain't taking shit from them. They might take it from you. And in that fashion. So, in 2008, like I said, they get on the radar of the feds, and the feds is starting to, you know, accumulate different information by flipping people, by watching, by their surveillance, or however they did it. They did it to everyone. They just my own neighborhood. You know what I mean? So it's Operation Red Right Hand. They were on motherfuckers. And this is just how it is. You know, this is just how it is. When you formulate a gang, okay, there's steps to this shit. You know, in the beginning, Adam was created, right? In the beginning, everything's all good. It's just a few friends with a plot and a plan. And if it blows, it blows. You only get one shot. Do not miss your chance to grow, right? And then over time, people start to notice other people start to adapt, other people want to get involved, other people want to join, and the community as a whole starts to feel oppressed because they see you getting bigger, and it's the fear of the unknown. They're fearing you, what? Because they don't know what your intentions are. And then you get one or two individuals, like I said, that are lazy and want to go out there and get it by any means necessary. And now you got a target on your back, a very big target, because law enforcement gets involved and they think that for anything, they should eradicate your gang because your gang poses a threat to the community, to the taxpayer, to the people, to the productive members of society. It's all about feria. At the end of the day, it's all about la bolsita. The gang is trying to get one, so scared the citizens don't want to give it up. And that's just it. You know, and the feds are, meanwhile, in the meantime, in between times, that's good. How can we tax it? You know what I mean? That's just life. But anyways, so like I said, in 2008, they're on the radar, and this is a 2 or 3 year accumulation of surveillance. Eventually, in 2011, they crack down and they bust 90 members of Armenian Power, leaders, members, anyone that had influence, and soldados as well, right? And it's a big case down there in LA. I remember seeing something lightweight on it. Says, hey, vatos from Armenian Power got busted. Hell of them. Vatos. Says, hey, I don't even know what we're going to do. We're going to gangbang still. Orale. Vámonos, right? And they got busted. And out of that 90, the cases were so solid, they were able to convict 87 of those individuals out of that 90. Now, probably a couple other ones flipped. More than likely. You know, I don't think no one got away unscathed. That's not how it goes down, especially when the feds come for you. Anyone knows if the feds come for you, they got you. They'll be like this. They'll watch you for 10 years handling business. Like you be cutting people's heads out there like this. Watch out. Look at his head. Look at his head. Got him. The wind's blowing. Watch out. Look at. His people too. Shit. Vatos are crazy. Right now. Got him. So then when they come knocking at your door, hey, do you remember when you cut out those people? No, that was 9 years ago. Exactly. Boom. Got you. Self-admittance. That's how they get down. This is how the feds play. When they come knocking at your door, Sasuke, hey, no sleep, no more. C4 at your door, no beef no more. You're done. Okay? You know, guns and badges, blue suits and white guys. You're out of here, buddy. And so they came for 90 of their heads and they got 86 of them convicted. And, you know, of course, that's a big group to go into prison at one point in time or to go into jail. I'm sure it was a Fed case. So these vatos, most of them went to the Feds. So they started to have a presence in the Feds. And yes, Armenian Power does have a presence, but not as its own organization. They're always going to be their own gang, their own group. But like I said, they fly sureño, they fly up under the Emma umbrella. And the Emma was very calculated and smart in this aspect. I don't really like to touch on Emma politics and policies too much. So I was just none of my business. You know what I mean? To them, the ultimate respect because they've established and they play a big, intricate part into the history of Chicanismo and to what's gone on, you know, period. Respects to them as well as the NF. But I will say this, that was a smart move that they did. When you see another group, say it's the Irish or the Ruskis or the fucking, whoever else it may be, the pendejos. When you see a different group formulating and starting to make power moves in shower shoes, and they're starting to give you some knowledge that you can't get in college, and they're starting to do their thing, you take notice. Okay, if you're a big group organization, you take notice. Vatos are smart enough to understand the impact these vatos will have on their community. And so, you know, you ain't doing, bro, you ain't selling a Tic Tac in LA without the big homies getting their cut. Straight up, they need that. Allegedly, right? So anyways, and they got that coming. They earned that. So anyways, with these vatos making their movements and doing what they were doing in the 80s and into the 90s and gaining that much attention, it was a great thing to reach out to them or vice versa and formulate some type of union and branch. You know, that's always a great thing when you could come together and form union and branch and be on one page. So it's better than being all over the book. For those of you that understand and know and have been in the game, well, now you know. But Armenian Power, let me tell you a little story. So I think it was in the late 2000s, there was a businessman. And allegedly he had went through, and being of Eastern European descent, being of Armenian descent, he never took into Armenian Power. That wasn't his get down. That's not what he was into. He actually, from a distance, didn't much care for the group. Someone caught wind that he was speaking out against them, and Sasuke allegedly was kidnapped. Right? He was kidnapped and held for ransom, a $50,000 ransom, for which his family supposedly paid. Okay, and everything was fine and dandy. And then Zavata felt that for another reason, okay, it worked the first time, right? This man got kidnapped again. It was a big case. I remember reading about it because this was the first time that a local gang, had actually kidnapped someone and held them for a $1 million ransom. It was like a movie and shit. Sasuke, we need $1 million. How much do we need? Hey, Sasuke, let me see. The tickets to the Super Bowl, 10,000 each, plus the Bugatti we're going to use to drive there, and then the Mamon, factor in another one, other than Arby's. So, we need $1 million, right there. You know what I mean? They wanted $1 million. Okay? And of course, again, this got on the Fed's radar when it becomes a certain amount of money, and there's kidnappings involved and things of that nature. The Feds are like, $1 million? We know we can get 100 grand off that. And it was on a crack, and these guys got busted. It was a big deal. It was a big thing. Just the type of balls that these individuals have. And like I said, they're not of Mexican descent. They're not of Chicano descent. They are Eastern Europeans. So it's like, you know, the white boys, they want their bolsita, straight up, no matter what. If they speak our language or not, they want it. You know what I mean? Hey, I want it. You know what I mean? Hook them up. And that's just the way it is. You know, at the end of the day, like I said, they are sureños, a very, very well-respected audio, Armenian Power, not to be played with. A group that's clandestine in the fact that not a lot of people know about them, and those that do know about them respect them, and those that don't like them know better than to disrespect them. And that's just part of the game, man. That's just the way the game goes. Like I said, I was on the Yarda in Corco, 4-yard. I actually did see a couple of vatos with Armenian Power. One had a big old AP on his chest, big old AP. Said, yeah, about this big. I remember. That's good. What does that mean? Oh, he must be a fan of the Minnesota Vikings, Adrian Peterson, right? And then another vato had Power, real big on his stomach. I said, watch out, look at that wood. He's over there doing dips with the sureño. And it was Armenian Power. He had Armenian real big on his back, Power on his stomach. He was about it. He was about that power. And then eventually, after asking questions and getting to know people and doing my due diligence, then I found out that Armenian Power were sureños, in fact, and a big gang out there in the Los area. Okay, Sasuke. And now, like I said, I did this spiel because a lot of people wanted to know the intricate history into them. And I can't sit here and give you word for word the exact history on these vatos. I know that they're a feared gang. I know that they fucking reside, like I said, under that umbrella. I know that they are embraced. I know that they are out there doing their thing. And from what I heard from a lot of vatos from LA, they're not to be fucked with, period. Anyways, that's just what it is. Armenian Power, man. I got another story about the vato coming up very soon. So it's going to trip you guys out, but it's a whole another spill in itself. Anyways, with that being said, man, I hope that you move fast with a purpose. I hope that you go out there and you get everything that you want coming to you. Remember, at the end of the day, just like Armenian Power, it's all about setting up, establishing, going out there and getting it for your familia. No one will do it for you. The existence is real. If you need to exist like them vatos existed, then you got to get off your lazy ass and go work, or you will have nada. That's just the way it is, man. That's my message for the day. You know what it is. Armenian Power, mucho respect, homes to your barrios, and much love, man. I hope that you guys carry on and nothing but embracement for the Chicano culture. That's a righteous thing, you know. I can tell the difference. Let's get what the hell, goatee, bald heads, 13, Armenian, boom. What the fuck part of the game is that? I'm gonna tell you, it's the real part. Plain and simple, period. Anyways, if you like this spiel, you can hit that like, put them thumbs up one time for your mind, man. Like and subscribe. So I guess right there, it's going subscribe. Please hit that subscribe. If not, you can hit that thumbs down. Heavy as the head that wears the crown. That's fine as well. The gun will continue to do what I do and do what I does. Go to Gunner's Profiles. If you haven't tapped in, like and subscribe Gunner's Profiles. Sasuke, I'm dropping bangers daily. Banger for banger. Clack, 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 clack. You know how I do it, man. I continue to do what I do ever since I got on YouTube, providing the best possible content that I can for everybody involved. And that's what it do like. You see I was out here bumping Conejo. I'm going to get back to that. We're going to make that happen. Sasuke, I'm on my Southsider shit today, man. That shit was slap. Before him, it was a little dopey. Order to 18. You already know what it is. The gun. Bang, bang. Menudo style.